Hi, I'm Carin Rhoode. I turned 51 the 19th of January. I was homeless for 9 years. Um, I ended up on the street after I lost my husband. And a year later, my father. And I think losing my father was the hardest thing I ever had to deal with. I was always different to my other siblings. I was always a softie. I was a walkover, and I was a cocaine user. When I ended up on the streets, I met a man by the name of Dean. Because Dean used to work for CCID. He took me to my first shelter in Napier Street. While I was there, I was sexually harassed by one of the supervisors. And it was at that time that I met Edgar, who was a gay male that was living at the shelter. Edgar left the shelter, and so I soon after also left because I couldn't cope with being harassed by a social worker. Even though I complained about it, nothing ever happened. It was in the gardens that Edgar taught me everything about the streets. I wasn't street smart, and he basically had to teach me how to identify who's genuine and who's not. A lot of bad things happened on the street, and just before COVID hit, Mom Estelle and Women of Hope Trust, they told me that I need to get off because of the pandemic. I lived in Plumstead for 3 months. I was working for the MPO, and they just told me one day that they can't help me anymore. I need to find my own way, and that's how I ended up at YMCA. Initially, I didn't want to be here. It was like in the middle of nowhere. But at YMCA, a lot of great things happened to me. Firstly, I was contacted with Hardy Boys in Durban, who organized a campaign with Unilever, Sunlight directly, and they flew me to Joburg. I did an ad, and in return, they gave me 50,000 rand in cash and 150,000 rand they poured into my business, of which I own now a shop that they paid for 6 months at Mojo Market, and I do my mask. COVID, the beginning of the pandemic was a blessing for me. I grew as a person, and I knew that I could never go back to being a hairstylist, so I had to carve out a new career for me, and that is where I decided to continue with my beading. I initially started beading when I was living in town. When I was on the streets, I used to pick up beads on Green Market Square at night. I would soak it overnight, and the next day I would sit in Government Avenue and I would make my jewelry and sell to tourists or whoever was interested. At YMCA, Ricky and Natalie has really encouraged me to do my best. They don't expect anything in return, and even though we thank them, I thank them, they will always tell me that I do the hard work. I can never ever trust another NPO, NGO besides Women of Hope Trust, because mommies tell them it's not about what they give you, it's not about the material things they give you, it's about the love and the support that they give us. And the fact that you don't have to stand in the queue for food with mom. They come to you personally and they bring you food, home food. It's like they're restoring your dignity. What I can say about COVID is COVID has taught me to appreciate a lot of things in life, especially the second wave. I lost a lot of close people that I knew, close relatives at one stage. Aunt and uncle in a couple of days apart, and It's taught me to appreciate a lot of things in life. As far as the vaccine is concerned, I'm a little bit skeptic about it because I have read up in Germany, Norway, Britain, people have died after taking the vaccine, so I am a bit skeptic about it. I most probably will read up more about it before I do make a final decision.